everyone, I'm Karen, coming to you from my sunny deck in Sandy Hook, bringing you a class about balance today. So during these challenging times when everything seems to be fluctuating and changing by the minute around us, sometimes finding our grounding and our balance might be a little difficult. So maybe if we practice finding our balance on the mat, it will kind of spill over into life and help us find balance everywhere. So you might be resting a little more than you usually do, or maybe walking more, or eating different foods than you normally eat because you're home, or watching more television and just more time with our families. So we need to find our balance and help us to feel calm and stable and safe. So in this practice today, we're going to start in standing. We are going to do some warm-ups. We'll go through some sun salutations, and in between each full sun salutation, we will add a balance posture. This might be great also for someone who might be struggling a bit with their balance. In their normal practice, it'll give you a chance to work on a lot of different balance poses, but also being at home in the privacy of your own space might give you a little more confidence to be a little more playful and maybe do these balance poses over and over to try to help find that balance that you can in each posture. So just do your best, and whatever your best is today is just where you need to be, and don't worry about anything else. No one is watching, it's all for you. So I welcome you to my home studio today outside on the deck, and I hope you enjoy. So let's start in mountain pose. Feeling very grounded under the feet. And maybe you lift up your toes and feel the four corners of your feet. Give a little wiggle and then let them rest on the earth. Your feet could be about hip distance apart, toes slightly in, heels slightly out. If you feel better balanced with your feet together or even a little bit wider, then find that place for yourself. As we ground through the four corners of the feet, energy comes into the legs. The thighs gently roll toward each other. Your tailbone will drop and your navel is going to pull in. Let your shoulders roll up, back, and down. One more time. Let go of tension you're holding through the shoulders. Elongate the fingers, spread the fingers wide. Let the crown of the head reach tall. Let the chin gently tuck. And maybe your eyes are just gently open and gazing towards the horizon forward, or maybe you close your eyes here. We'll start to center here with our eyes gently closed or gently open toward the front horizon, and just start to notice how you feel. Maybe just let the body sway forward a little bit and sideways, and find that centering where you can really feel stable and grounded. Notice if your mind is beginning to wander. Keep coming back here to your body. Feel the breath move in and out of the body. And then we'll start here by allowing the breath to deepen, filling the belly, the ribs, and the heart center with as much air as you can take in. And then releasing from the heart center to the ribs to the belly as much air as you can push out. Allowing that breath to freely move inward and outward. Just noticing one more deep, full breath, filling the body with oxygen. And then one more big exhale. Let's take our hands into our heart center and set an intention for practice. What is it that you need today? Maybe it is balance. Maybe it's strength. Maybe it's flexibility. Whatever it is, call that to mind here. Consider sending love, light, energy off to someone outside of your space. And always a moment of gratitude, big or small, whatever that is today. Find that moment of gratitude. And we'll bow our heads to our hearts. Let our gratitude and our intention stay in our heart center. And let's gently open our eyes, come back into our mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. I'm just going to step back one step here. Inhale to rise tall. Maybe your gaze looks upward. Exhale, hands to the heart. And one more time, inhaling, reaching tall, maybe lifting your heart into a little back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart center. As we inhale, we're going to reach our arms tall. And then I want you to just keep lifting from side to side, almost like you were trying to climb 2 ropes above you. Really just getting a nice big stretch. Try to see if you can start by first keeping your feet grounded to the earth. And then maybe you lift up one heel at a time. Just noticing as we just start to lift one heel, you are starting to balance. You've lost the 4 corners of the feet on one of your feet. We just find that big stretch from our side body. Take one more big breath in, lift the heart, lift the gaze, and exhale, hands into heart center. Let's inhale, reach our arms up. We're going to interlace our fingers and push our hands upward, the palms of our hands. Put a little bend into your knees and just start to circle your arms around in one direction. Just waking up our bodies. See if you can start to breathe as you circle around here, connecting your breath and your movement together. Maybe inhaling as you reach up and around, and exhale as you bring the arms down toward the earth. The next time the arms reach up, let's inhale into the opposite direction. And maybe you notice how one side might feel a little different than the other. And go one more time in this direction. Lifting the arms back overhead. Tuck your pelvis, lift your heart, find that little back bend, and take the hands to your heart center. Let's come back into mountain pose. Inhaling, reach your arms up, and as you exhale, swan dive toward the earth, slowly and mindfully. As you let your hands reach to the shins, come up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, circle sweep the arms all the way back up to the top, lifting your heart, lifting your gaze, tucking your pelvis, and exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, rising tall. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhaling to rise. Surrender to the earth on your exhale. Flat back all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. Pull your shoulders from your ears. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rising tall, lift the heart center. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Coming back into mountain pose. So as we proceed here, we're going to start working through some sun salutations. And as we go through the first round, I'm going to be adding in some modifications so that we can do a little more warming up before we move a little deeper. So I'm going to turn sideways here. Let's start in our mountain pose. Inhaling, reaching your arms up. Exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway, and as you exhale, plant your hands, step to plank. We're going to lower to our knees and take a few rounds of cat-cow. Hooking your toes as you inhale, drop the belly, pull the tailbone and the gaze up. And as you exhale, round the spine, dropping the tailbone, dropping the head. Inhale into cow pose. Exhaling into cat. One more time, into the front body, extending the spine toward the earth. And exhaling into the back body as you lift and flex the spine toward the sky. On your next breath, come back into a neutral spine. We'll walk our hands forward and inhale into modified plank. Tuck your pelvis, pull your shoulders from your ears. Inhaling here, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to the earth. Untucking your feet, the tops of the feet grab the earth, the hands grab the earth. We lift the heart up and forward. And exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, come through table, and exhale, pull the hips back into extended puppy. Inhale, come back up to knees, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look at your hands, and walk your feet forward to your hands, finding a forward fold. Let's hold here in this forward fold, clasping our hands around our opposite elbow and let our head hang right in the little window of our biceps. Maybe a little sway from side to side as you release the back body. And we'll release our hands, let our hands come to our shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, reverse your swan dive, rising tall, maybe that little back bend at the top. And exhale into heart center. So as we proceed here through our sun salutations, I'll start adding our balance poses, and we'll go through one full sun salutation, and then as we come through the second sun salutation, we'll start the balance. And if you need to modify anywhere, go right ahead. Listen to your body, do what your body needs. So finding our mountain pose, our first sun salutation, I'll face sideways. Inhale, rise, and exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step to plank. Pulling tailbone in, lengthen from the crown of the head to the heels. Inhale here, and exhale, lower down to the earth. Rise up to low cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze at your hands, and bring your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rising all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Come to plank. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower to the earth and rise into your back bend. Inhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, and as you exhale, bring your feet forward to your hands, find a forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Coming back into your mountain pose. So as we start to move through a balance pose, it's so important to first find mountain pose, even if you're not instructed. It gets your weight and your energy lined up from right to left. Everything is balanced here. We take the weight into our left foot. I'm going to take my hands to my heart center and we'll come into tree pose to start. So I'm going to come up onto the toes of my right foot and externally rotate that hip as I open the knee toward the right side. And if you're just starting your balance practice, maybe you just want to rest your heel against your ankle and lift your toes. If you have a balance practice that's established, maybe your foot comes to your inner calf or even up into your inner thigh, trying to avoid pressing against the knee. We want to keep our knee nice and healthy. So think about mountain pose. Everything grounds. We lift everything to center. Relax your shoulders. So your hands can stay at your heart, or you can get a little playful, maybe growing tree branches, maybe letting them sway in the breeze. I actually have a breeze here today. And then taking your hands back to your heart, we'll turn our knee forward and lower to the earth. And I like to hold in stillness, but some people like to wiggle and shake after a balance pose, so take what you need here. And we'll move to the other side. Grounding the weight into the right foot, pop up onto the toes of the left foot. We externally rotate the hip, pulling that knee away, and maybe just resting the heel and keep lifting the toes, or foot comes into the inner calf or up into your inner thigh. Again, avoid placing the foot against the knee. Maybe you take the same arms on this side, or maybe something different. Do what your body needs to do here. Keep grounding and lifting, relaxing your shoulders, and most importantly, keep breathing. Let's take our hands back to our heart, turn our knee forward, lower our foot, wiggle and shake or hold in stillness, and then coming back into mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, let your arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, come to plank and flow through your vinyasa. Rising up into your back bend and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward, and as you exhale, take your feet to your hands and find forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rising tall. And hands come into the heart center. Taking a big breath in and a big exhale, making your way back into your mountain pose. As we inhale, let's take our hands into our heart center. Beautiful. We're going to lift onto the toes of our left foot and lift that knee up and around. So I'm going to try to wrap my left leg around my right leg and still keep trying to pull that right hip forward. Now for some of you, this might be enough. Woo! Or maybe you take your arms out wide and take your left arm underneath your right and find eagle arms. You could even grab your opposite shoulder. So lifting your arms and breathing. Take a big breath in and see if you could just sit your hips back a little. Beautiful. Inhale, rising up, release your arms and your legs. Hands to heart center. Wiggle and shake or hold in stillness, finding mountain pose. Moving to the other side, weight shifts to that left foot. We come onto the toe of the right foot, hands at our heart center. Lift up that knee, wrap the leg around. Again, keep pulling that right hip back, left hip comes forward. Some of you might be able to wrap your toes around your calf. That's not in my practice, but if you can do that, go right ahead. And you can hold here. Maybe your arms come out, and this time we take the right arm underneath the left, connecting our hands toward each other or grabbing our shoulders and lifting your elbows, and see if you can sit into your chair. We breathe deeply, big breath in and exhale. One more time. And then releasing arms and legs, big breath in, and either wiggle and shake or hold in stillness. Coming back to mountain pose. Back through another sun salutation. Inhale to rise. Exhale, release. Inhale halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step to plank. Inhale here, lower to the earth. Rise up to your version of a back bend and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and gaze forward. Exhale, feet to hands, find a forward fold. Lengthen up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rising tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Releasing hands and finding a big breath in and a big breath out. Beautiful. So this time we're going to take a pose where we start to move forward a little bit. So I'm going to just back up on my mat. We're going to come into fig tree. So let's step our left foot forward, bring our left arm up and our right arm off to the side, and we'll bring the weight over that left foot. So our left foot is our standing leg. I like to take a little hand mudra here, and maybe you start to lift off of that back foot, lifting that leg. So I'll turn sideways so you can see. So it might just be a little bit. You might be able to fold a little more. And then slowly rise up, taking hands to heart center, wiggle and shake or hold in stillness. And back to mountain pose. We'll step our right foot forward, right arms reach up, left arm off to the side, right leg becomes the standing foot, and slowly begin to unweight that back foot, finding fig tree and breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And as we inhale, we'll rise up, hands to heart, wiggle and shake or hold in stillness. Taking a big breath in and releasing to mountain pose. One more time through sun salutation. Inhale to rise. Exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, plant the hands and find plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Rising up to your back bend and back to down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, feet to hands, find a fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising tall, lift your heart center, lift your gaze, beautiful. Exhale, hands to the heart. We come back into our mountain pose. And this time we're going to take a little bit of a challenging pose. Our knee will be up just a little bit higher. And if you need to, you could walk over to a countertop or a wall and just grab on for some extra support. Do what you need to do to support your body. So we find our mountain pose. We find our drishti, that place to rest our eyes forward. And we're going to let the weight come into our left foot. And we're going to take my knee, my right knee, up into my hands. And I like to flex my right foot to give some integrity into the muscles to help my leg almost feel a little lighter. So you can hold right here and touch down if you need to. But obviously we're balancing here. We're on one foot. And maybe your left hand comes off to the side. Now, for some of you who are really looking for a challenge, maybe you grab your big toe with your peace fingers and maybe you extend your leg out in front of you. So I'm going to come back to this gentler pose with my hand on my knee. So from here, you could hold or you could open that knee to the right. Maybe your gaze reaches over to the left. That's the challenge for me. Let's come forward with our gaze and with our knee, and we'll slowly switch hands, bringing our right hand off to the side. Now that switch of the hands might be just enough. Or to go a little deeper here, maybe you start to twist yourself open to the right side. Inhale, let's come back to center. We're gonna lift that knee a little bit higher, release, challenge to extend your foot forward, and then lower your foot and release your arms. Breathe here. Let it go. Let's all gather and inhale and collect all our negative thoughts about balancing. And then exhale, just let them go. The other side will be completely different. So weight now comes into our right foot. We come off of that left foot, bringing that knee into our hands. Remember, flex your foot here. Maybe your right hand reaches to the side. So again, you're balancing. You can hold right here. Maybe you're grabbing your big toe. Maybe you're extending your leg. Be in your practice. Maybe you'll stay extended on this side. Hold right here. Or maybe you open the leg to the side. Remember, you can still have your knee. Let's come back to center. We're going to switch hands. And maybe you twist open to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take that knee up. Release the hands. Extend your foot out forward and then lower your foot. Hold in stillness or wiggle and shake. And then finding mountain pose with your hands on your heart and your belly. Beautiful job. Even out your breath. Come back to your intention. And maybe today, taking one more moment to find gratitude for maybe something else. Maybe it's the same thing that came to mind earlier. And let's just put that in our heart and seal our hand from our belly over our heart. And just feeling that gratitude radiate through our body and out to the universe. And then as we come back into mountain pose, we'll stand nice and tall with relaxed shoulders. Inhale, rise tall. And as you exhale, swan dive to the earth. Lengthen your spine one more time here and find downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll lower to our knees and take a child pose. Find a big stretch in the back body. Walking your hands forward and letting your head rest on the earth. Inhale, rise up and make your way onto your seat in whatever way you need to, crossing your ankles or coming off to the side. And let's just take our feet forward, maybe give them a little jiggle after all those standing postures. And then sitting up nice and tall, inhaling, lengthening the crown of the head, relax the shoulders, navel pulls in to support your low back. Let's take a nice big breath in, reach our arms up overhead, and as we exhale, fold over the legs, coming into Paschimottanasana. Keep a nice little bend in those knees if your hamstrings are very tight, or you could even grab a blanket and stick it right underneath your knees to give yourself a little support. As we inhale, let's rise all the way back up. Arms reach, lift the heart, lift the gaze, and exhale, hands to heart center. Hands to the earth. I'm going to turn sideways now, and let's bring our knees up. Hold on behind your thighs, tuck your chin, and roll onto your back body. Take your knees into your heart center, and a little rock from side to side. Opening your arms like a T, bring your knees into air chair position. And let's lower our knees over to the left side. Letting our left hand grab the outside of our thigh And let your gaze drop over your right shoulder. Breathe deeply. What can you release here? What can you let go of? And releasing your hand, let your gaze come up, bring your knees back up to center and lower the knees to the opposite side, letting your right hand take the outside of the left thigh, the left shoulder relaxes as we gaze right over that left shoulder. Another twist here. Maybe you notice one place you're just holding on to a little too tightly in the body, and maybe you could take a big deep breath in and just let that spot soften and relax. And then releasing your hands, your knees can come up. And we'll take any last posture you like. Maybe it's another twist. Maybe it's an inversion with your feet up. Maybe it's a happy baby pose, or whatever your body may need here. And find 5 deep, long breaths. After your 5th breath, make your way into your Shavasana, letting your body settle to the earth. Let your shoulders come behind your heart. Palms up to receive the blessings of our practice. And just notice every cell, every muscle, every part of your body is relaxed. Time to fully let go and be at stillness. And as you take your next inhale, let it deepen into the body. Allowing yourself to start with some gentle movements. And then gathering your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big tight squeeze here as you pull those knees in, sending love, appreciation, gratitude to your bodies for bending, moving, and stretching. And then rolling to your favorite side and slowly coming to a comfortable seated posture. Take your hands to your heart center. For those who know me, my favorite word, if you probably know, is sunshine. And I feel this sun coming down on me, and it's just filling me with another bit of gratitude right here. And I hope you can find gratitude throughout your day for all that you have in your life, all the blessings that have been brought upon you. I am so, so thankful you shared your practice with me today. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in each of you. Namaste.